So when it's all said and done, what does Shogun V you want to be remembered for?
Man, tell me what I was thinking about this the other day.
This should be on your mind. When you wake up in the morning, it's a public service announcement to everybody. When you wake up in the morning, if you are not working towards this, right, you're moving backwards.
You're not living. Right? You're not even living.
You should always want to work and strive to your legacy. And I'm sorry I cut you off, so I'm gonna ask it again, right? So when it's all said and done, what do you want to be remembered for when you leave this earth?
Man, I got two answers. So there was this quote, I forgot who's by, but it was like, champions get remembered and legends never die. You know what I mean? You know, so myself as an artist, you know what I mean? If I were to, you know, God forbid right now, not anytime soon, but, you know, if I were to pass away, you know, somebody across the world like listens to my song, they don't even know I'm dead. But the fact that my music's out there, it's like I never even died. You know what I mean? So it's like to my fans and people that support me, it's like it's not even a fact that like of being remembered. It's more so like even when I pass on, my energy is still there. You know what I mean? The energy and the effort and, you know what I mean, just the connection that I'm creating with whoever is listening. I mean, that is forever. As cliche as that may sound, but if I were to answer is like to be remembered, I just want to be remembered as somebody who just was, you know what I mean, an advocate for being the best version of yourself and, you know, pushing people to just not conform to, you know, just being a basic 9-to-5 person and, you know what I mean, only peaking when you were like in high school. It's like, dude, life is long as fuck. And it's like, you gotta put your hands in everything. You know what I mean? I was like, one of my number one things in life is like, just kind of don't stay still. Like, so I definitely want to be remembered as somebody who did not stay still. You know what I mean? Put your hands in everything. Knowledge is endless. Like, there's shit to learn every day, all day, in every way. You know what I mean?
What's up, y'all? Welcome to The Art of Creating Yourself. I'm Ron from Around the Hype. Make sure to like, subscribe to the video, the platform if you haven't already. So with that being said, let's just get straight to the shits. Today we got Shogun V. What's up, my dog? How you doing today?
Ooh, how you doing, bro? I'm doing amazing. Feeling
That's
marvelous.
Like to hear. Marvelous, he says. All right. So here at the Art of Creating Yourself, we like the guests to give their full introduction. So go ahead and tell me your name, city you're from, your ethnicity, and the crafts that you choose to share with us on this marvelous day.
Right on. Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy Shogun V, Santi Velez, aka Vision Shogun, Daly City Superstar, Daly City Stand Up 650. Yeah.
65.
I was born in Hayward, but we moved to San Francisco when I was like 1, I think. Grew up in Daly City, Colma area, so been out there. My dad's Black and Puerto Rican. My mom's Filipino, German, and Salvadorian, but I just like to say I'm Puerto Rican and Filipino. And I rap, I make music. I'm an artist.
All right, so you say you rap and you make music. Would you consider yourself a rapper then? Or would you consider yourself more of an artist?
I feel like the art of just creating in general, because I feel like definitely there's musical arts, but I do have my hands in like painting and, you know, a bunch of other stuff. Like I used to fuck with clothes a little bit, trying to make a little brand and stuff, like graphic design. So trying my hands in a little bit of everything. So I'm an artist. I am definitely an artist before anything.
Okay. I respect that. And Shogun, right? So Shogun V, and the V stands for vision, right?
Vision.
Okay. And where did that come from? The whole Shogun Vision.
So growing up, I've always been into like, well, I mean, my dad put me on like Japanese culture, and he would always be like, man, like the samurai and the shogun are like, you know, some powerful warriors. So like, shout out to my dad, put me on with that. And just my initials is SV, Santi Velez. So when I first started rapping, I was like, damn, like what would be like, like a powerful name, just sick. You know what I mean? Like coming through, cutting through verses, like the Shogun, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Vision is a callback to a brand that I have with one of my best friends, Krijan. And we started this brand called Vision in like 2015. And it's like our vision is so different. We call it Vision. We can't even say it right. You know what I
You
mean?
can't even say it like Vision.
Yeah. So Shogun V, Vision Shogun. It's kind of like the origin story right there.
Okay. All right. And so you have the Shogun, which is like the Japanese part of the culture, right?
Mm-hmm.
You said you're Black, Puerto Rican, and Filipino, right?
Yeah.
And grew up in the Bay Area and rep Daly City. You know, a lot of people don't rep Daly City. If you grew up in the Bay Area, people outside the Bay Area don't really know what Daly City is.
Nobody
Right?
put Daly City.
Nobody knows what Daly City is. So
yeah.
why do you choose to rep Daly City specifically, and not, let's say, a San Francisco, or like just choose like a part of the Bay, like East Bay or like the Peninsula or what?
So for the longest time, like I would always claim like, oh yeah, like SF. Everywhere I go, like, oh, where you from? Like, oh, I'm from San Francisco. No, damn well I live in like Tacoma or Daly City. So like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like Daly City, like a lot of OGs I talk to, like, you know, whether it be my pop's friends or just, you know, older people that I run into, they're like, you know, where you from? Like Daly City. And like, not a lot of people like to say it, but I feel like Daly City is like the backbone to the Bay, low key. Because feel me, you meet a lot of you meet a lot of interesting people, Daly City, Coma, South City, even. And like, you know, I got a lot of friends in the city, and it's a different culture, you know, even though we're a few like exits away. You know, a lot of solid people that I know, a lot of cultured people, a lot of, feel me, like a lot of good artists, you know what I mean? Whether they be creating like actual art, painting, you know, brands, you know, there's always that stigma just growing up. It's like, oh, like blah, 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 something a Daly City kid would do. But like, you know, talking shit. Like, so I'm trying to like really put Daly City on the map. Like I am trying to be the Daly City superstar. So, you know what I mean? Just make people proud of where they're from. You know what I mean? It's like,
where they're really
you wear
from
an SF
too.
hat. Yeah, you wear an SF hat, but would you wear a DC hat, like Daly City hat?
That's a question. Like, that's a question.
That is a
right
question.
There.
You know what I mean? And I'm gonna come out with a Daly City trucker hat, and I better see everybody wearing that shit too.
All the people who claim San Francisco, but really from the Daly City, Coma area, you better be rocking Daly City, because I mean, you can rock whatever, but you know, some people really got to just be true to where they're actually from, because even though Daly City and San Francisco, or Coma and San Francisco and South City, they're all really close in distance, right? They're all connecting to each other. There are, and I was even talking to my mom about this, there are distinct feels in each of those cities. And there's distinct cultures in each of those cities, right? So claiming San Francisco, being from Daly City, to someone who actually knows the Bay, you know, it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right. And that's a little bit about what you were getting into. But how did your actual culture, growing up, in your ethnicity, play a part in the art that you create today?
I would definitely, well, I mean, like my dad, he came from Puerto Rico when he was like 5, came out here. So he's always been, you know, San Francisco in the Bay. My mom was born out here. So I wouldn't say like, you know, my dad is too Latino or my mom is too Filipina. Like, you know, they're just, you know, some Bay people. Like, I remember growing up, like, you know, we weren't the most richest people. You know, I mean, my dad was like separated from my mom a little bit. My mom had me, she was doing a nursing program at USF, right? She had 2 kids, me and my brother. She was like living in the basement, still going to school. And I remember like where I feel like the like stepping stone of where I really started being cultured is like, dude, just every morning she'd be playing Erykah Badu, like Sade in the morning, like Al Green, like all that stuff, Marvin Gaye.
Feel good.
My mom listens to like 80s rock, like all that stuff. You know what I mean? Shalimar, like all that stuff. And then got back together with my dad, moved in with him, and he put me into I was in band for a little bit, played like electric guitar and stuff. So like listening to hella rock. Like I had a little emo phase too, you know what I mean? So
I think we all did, but
everybody had the little raw XD, you know what I mean? MySpace. I was like, But yeah, nah, like just being cultured, just talking about my stuff, I feel like I do have a lot of inspiration from a lot of different places, you know what I mean? Just and it's like a equal respect, you know, from like rap to rock to classical music to, you know, even EDM. Like it's my thing is like as an artist, and then like, you know, some people are like, oh, like Drake sucks, or like, you know, this EDM sucks. It's like they're obviously doing something you can't, you know what I mean? I mean, like I as an artist, like as a rapper, I can't hate on a rapper that made it because, you know, he's farther than I am right now. You know what I mean? So it's like respect equally, you know what I mean? But just always been around good music, good food, you know what I mean, good people, you know, wholesome cultures, family and stuff. So it's definitely where you know my origin is.
And where does fashion fit into all that? You said that you started a brand a couple years ago, and you know it's really important to your actual creative process. So where does it all fit in?
I think like just fashion in general is like I feel like, you know, you can meet somebody and like, oh, that dude's hella smart. Like I really fuck with him for the way he thinks in his mind. But it's like the first thing you see before you meet anybody for the first time is what they got on and how they look. You know what I mean? As
Yeah.
blunt as that may be, you know what I mean? As you know, messed up that may be, but it's
Hell yeah.
like, you know, I just don't want to be like, you know, you see somebody and it's like you want to stand out. You know what I mean? It's the ultimate form of expression, even if you can't even say nothing. You know what I mean? It's like putting on, you know, clothes and shit that like people normally wouldn't wear. You know what I mean? Like I be like Uzi said, I'd be in the girl section sometime buying clothes. I ain't even gonna lie to you. You know what I mean?
You
There
gotta
was a
come out
moment
with
I was
the
like,
yeah.
yeah. There was a minute I was like, bro, I'm gonna start wearing some fishnets under my shirt. But then I didn't do it. But still though, you know what I
Okay.
mean? Just kind of thinking outside the box,
Outside the box.
being definitely like flamboyant and, you know, trying to just not conform to just like a shirt and some shorts. You know what I mean? Like, but that's why I'm always trying to mix it up with things I wear and, you know, express myself. Even, you know, people I don't get to talk to, they still see me.
But when it comes to like supporting your homies brands or supporting the people you know, I still feel like people will rather choose like the Nike, the Supreme, and pay that whatever price tag it is over
Yeah.
somebody that they know. Like
Yeah.
I can't understand that though. That's something that maybe that's just me, but people will really go out of their way to support these giant brand companies and not
Makes
support the
no
local
sense.
companies, right?
Yeah.
And it doesn't boost up your ego any,
It
right? Or
don't do
maybe only
nothing.
boost up your ego. Maybe that's the only reason you're doing it, but it really kind of like is a slap in the face to your
It
community at the end
is.
of the day,
It is.
right? And
Definitely is.
I feel like as artists and creators, we got to do more of that, and that's something I want to lead into. We need more collaboration, right? And we talked a little bit about this, but what's been your experience as an artist collaborating in the Bay Area?
I think I had a few experiences to be honest. To be honest, I started rapping like since I was like in eighth grade, so maybe like 2012. I started off like doing poetry and stuff, and you know, just my musical and just lyrical journey. I didn't really start taking it seriously and like putting stuff out to 2016. But I remember like, you know, even being in high school and like someone, you know, I would say like is my equal almost, you know, in like high school terms. Like we're just both making music, like trying to like reach out to somebody. It's like there's this weird like, oh no, I ain't finna work with you. Like this is my shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody's kind of cutthroat, like low key. It's crazy. Like, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? It's like, oh, this dude's rapping too. You know what I mean? But on the same token, it's like you are starting off and you do want to like set your foundation, which is valid. You know what I mean? Everybody has their reasons and you know, you want to create your own, you know, little niche and do what you want to do. But at the end of the day, like I totally agree. Like it's hard to try to like reach out to somebody and be like, hey, let's make this song. You know what I mean? There may be occasions where it's like, yo, y'all is both locals, but one's like just a little more popping than you. And they won't even give you the chance.
I can't
Like,
get down to that level right now. You
you know
feel
what I
me?
mean?
But
Like, I can't, like, and that just goes for a lot. Like I've had you know, people hit me up or I hit somebody up. I'm like, let's make a song, like, you know, send some beats through with my verse on it and like never hear back
That's the
ever.
worst, yeah.
Like, damn. I was like, dang. And then, you know, that forms in an artist, you know, that, you know, for example, if that was me, kept happening to me, I'd be like, you know what, then I don't want to work with nobody. And it's just like a domino effect of like people like, you know what, fuck it, like I'm gonna just do this on my own. But it's like, we gotta do this shit together. Like,
yep.
this is us. Like, and the thing is, like, you gotta find a way to teach that to people, kind of put aside that ego and stuff like that. But it's very, very tough. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of artists, and you know, sometimes you don't even follow each other. Like, you follow an artist, they don't even follow you back. Like, it's like, you obviously, somebody follows you, you check out their stuff, and it's like, oh, he's an artist dude, man, I ain't gonna fuck with him. Like,
he ain't got the check mark. Oh, he ain't popping. Oh, he ain't got
like,
the
damn,
K next to his followers.
that's crazy.
You can't do that. That's wild to me. It feels like in the Bay, we have these micro communities, right? Yes. We have hundreds of thousands of micro communities in the Bay, but the overall Bay Area music community is, I guess, stagnated by all these micro communities. So let's say you were trying to reach out to somebody in the 8th grade, like, yo, let's make a track, right? You got 5 people who, like, those are your core team, right? Or like 3 or 4 people you make music with, right? And y'all are tight. Y'all like, yo, we're making it to the top, blah, 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 whatever, no matter what. And that other person got 3 or 4 people along with them. They're like, yo, we make it to the top. We make music together no matter what. Right. And now it's kind of like people almost attach themselves to these micro communities. And if you're not in these communities, they're not making music with you, right? They're sticking to their 1 or 2 features, their 1 or 2 producers, right? The person or the backup person who mixes and masters their tracks. And it's like, why don't you want to work with homeboy? You realize that if you meet your fan base and they meet their fan base, 1, a dope piece of art can come out of it. But 2, of course, you guys can network together and grow your own statures, right? And it doesn't really make sense to me in the fact that people do choose to put competition over collaboration because they think that there is this end goal of being the best. And you can be the best if you really want to be the best, but that's only going to be to you. Everyone's going to always think that there's a different best, or that somebody is more whatever, a better lyricist, a better has better flow, or has better beats, or better projects, better albums, whatever it is. So if you're going to be the best, you better believe you're the best and leave that at home, right? Because there's a world that opens up, like you were saying, that you can just do things.
There's just a whole world, like like you said, like, you got 2 artists, you know what I mean, totally different from each other. And just, if they were to work together, it's not only, you know, an amazing work of art, but it's 2 worlds like clashing together. And it's like, you know, you got their fans and, you know, their fans together. And it's like, it's kind of like, it's like world building, low key, you know what I mean? Like creating, like, you know, our own network of artists, you know what I mean? Because, you know, you got the mainstream, but what about all the other streams? You know what I mean? What's happening in all the other streams? And then, like, a little callback to what I was saying is, like, being that type of artist, you know what I mean? If someone was just to wake up and you're like, I'm gonna just work with all these people. That's kind of what Louis Vuitton did. It's like I said, they're kind of stepping out the box, not following like a normal artist, just going one way. They're kind of branching off, because Louis Vuitton did a collab with Supreme. They're doing that shit with the NBA. You know what I mean? Like, doing all this stuff, and it's like, dang, like all these other brands looking at it like, dang, I should have did that. You know what I mean? But it's too late now, because then, you know what I mean? But for artists too, it's the same thing. Like, an artist, you're like, I'm not gonna work with nobody. But then there's that one artist that's trying to bring everybody together. He's like, I got this song, I got a feature or 2, some locals. Like, cover art's gonna be shot by somebody local, or drawn by somebody local. Music video, somebody local. Like, we're gonna do a show, it's local. Like, all that shit's local. Like, that's some shit. That's very respectable for somebody to do, rather than somebody be ignorant and not work with nobody. So I definitely agree with you on that. It's some bullshit. It's some bullshit.
You're almost building up your bigger community in your smaller community, right?
Exactly.
So if you build up the the Bay Area music scene or your local scene, right? Oh, I'm from Sunset and 14th, right? I'm making sure
Yeah,
everybody that does this is from the Sunset District, whatever. You build up that local community and you bring it to another district, you bring it to another district, right? You bring it across the Bay, you bring it across the
exactly.
peninsula. It
Hmm.
brings up the Bay because I do believe to people that are outside the Bay, I don't think they understand that there is this stigma of we do not want to work together
Yes.
as we think we are. And I don't know if it's we think we're better than people because I'm not an artist in myself and I don't try
Yeah.
to, oh, I'm not a rapper or whatever. But I do
Yeah.
believe I've talked to some and I've been around some. There is this competitive mindset that people want to be better than the person next to them.
Yeah.
And
I
when
think it's
you,
just human
yeah,
nature too.
yeah, there's also that too, you have to almost take a step back and leave that ego out because it doesn't serve you in this industry because you are closing so many doors before they open.
You are.
Right? You can be the
For
best on
somebody
a
who's just
song.
local.
Yeah,
Yeah, for somebody who's just
like
local.
you're not trying to compete with
Crazy.
people. Why not bring everybody up?
Yeah,
Because then it
exactly.
just serves everybody. It just really
Hmm.
serves everybody.
And that's another thing too, is like artists that do really make it out the Bay, they're only like, oh, like there's kind of like, oh, they sound like they're from the
Mm-hmm.
Bay. They only come up because they sound like they're from the Bay. So
Mm-hmm.
what I was gonna say is like, there's like a stigma too, where it's like we need to sound like a certain way. And if
Mm.
like you don't sound like you from the Bay and you got a different sound, but you are from the Bay, it's like not a lot of people will fuck with you. It's like why? Like
Yeah, yeah.
I
That sounds
gotta
so
like
backwards, right?
it sounds so backwards. It's kind of like robbing me of like freedom. You know what I
And
mean? Low key.
individuality.
Exactly.
Because then
It's
what you
tough.
happens is you get 7,500 rappers that are from the Bay and all sound like each other.
Yeah. You know what I
So then
mean?
how do you distinct somebody? How do you
How
make
you
somebody
supposed
go
to?
from point A to point B, right? And blow up if
Hmm.
their value can be replicated instantly by
Yes.
7,499 other people.
That's what I'm saying.
So
It's like,
if you want to sound like you're from the Bay, that's cool. Like you get that style, you get that culture, but there
hmm
should be some individuality. There should be some of your own flair in there, so
hmm
that
hmm
people do know when they hear something from you that it's from you, right?
yes. And I feel like a lot of people get discouraged too, because then like I just dropped like a rock song, like on
Yeah.
some like rock, you know what I mean? And I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna just drop this, you know what I mean? And it's like, I feel like a lot of people get discouraged because they're like, damn, like if I drop this, like it don't sound like the next person. But it's like,
Mm-hmm.
fuck that. Like people are gonna fuck with you because you don't give a fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
because
that's
you
when
have that
like,
confidence to drop a
yeah,
rock
you have
song,
that
right?
confidence. You know what I mean? And the same thing too, it's like how you said there's that ego of like I'm the best, but it's like try to be the best, but also like the best version of yourself. You know what I mean?
100% say that.
Don't try to be better than these other people. Be the better than you were yesterday.
Be
You know what I
better than
mean?
you were
Like,
yesterday.
you know what I mean? That's what's attractive. That's what's valuable. And like that's people, real people will fuck with you. Like, damn, like this dude don't give a fuck. Like he's just dropping all this shit. You know what I mean? Like going crazy, like
Mm,
not conforming to nobody. You know what I mean? But also having, that sense of inclusivity with like everybody. You know what I mean? So it's like a maze low key out here in the Bay. It definitely is.
100%. And it
It's
feels like
tough.
to me, it's that almost competition culture is getting a lot thicker now that you can't really go outside. You're not really getting shows or being
Yeah,
able
yeah,
to experience the Bay Area music culture like it should be, right?
yeah.
Since the pandemic has started, right? You can't do something like, I don't know, make a tape with 15 people you don't know because you don't know if
Yeah.
it's safe, or you can't go to a show, or you can't do something like a cipher, right, where it's
Hmm.
you and other 5 other artists all on the same beat. So I think,
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard of the, hopefully I'm not butchering his name, but the BAKARY Beat challenge, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I've seen
something that's
that.
been
I've seen
going
that.
around last week and a half, couple weeks
Hmm.
on like social. And what it's really doing, things like that, is it's getting it's giving you the opportunity to showcase what your flow, your lyrics, and your rapping ability, right, on a song from
Yeah.
the a Bay producer, a Bay rapper, a Bay visionary,
Hmm.
and basically collabing almost like it's almost like a a simple collaboration that you're doing with him and spreading it out to everybody, right? So he's hosting this challenge and he's giving everybody the opportunity to showcase their skills, showcase their talents, and you're collabing with an individual, and a lot of Bay people are actually tapping in. I know Stunnaman did it. I know who else? I think I Am Sue did it. There are people that are doing this challenge, and I think more things like this need to happen is what I'm trying to get to.
Yeah,
so we can be more together, especially during this time.
Yeah, it's like a COVID safe cipher, pandemic cipher.
The COVID cipher. That's something we need to
do. Everybody indoors, feel me? Like sharing the same beat. No, it's beautiful though. You know what I mean? Giving people like a voice, you know, especially when we can't have shows. Actually, the last show I did, Stunnerman was there. It was 6900. Shout out him. He had a show down in Sunset.
Okay.
And he had Stunnerman open up for him. And then before that, my friend Nick Millie Shoots on Instagram, he DJs. So he did a little set. And instead of like him being an artist, like, oh, this is just my set, he hit me up. He's like, bro, I'm gonna bring you on as a special guest on my set. You know what I mean?
That's
so like,
love.
that is love. You know what I mean? Like you said, like opportunities. And like, I went over there, did my thing, like knocked it out. I met Stunnerman, like shot the shit, and it was cool. You know what I mean? Like, definitely need more people, more energy like that, you know, on social media and in person. You know what I mean? And I think, you know, it's a slow start, but you know, people are kind of like making that realization and low-key going in a good direction. It's a little slow, but we gonna get there.
We get there eventually, right?
Yeah.
Just try to bring everybody together, try to make this content, make this art, make this music, and bring our community and our cultures up like that, right?
Yeah. Cause you see like Atlanta or like New York, dude, you got motherfuckers coming out of there like every day. Like where's the last person that came out the Bay? Like every 2 years we get like one, and it's only Bay sound. You know what I mean? You got people from like Houston, Atlanta, like all these crazy ass sounds, like knocking it out. But it's like, oh, if we're gonna come on, we have to sound like we from the Bay. It's like
that's crazy. That's super right. Like you said, you got the Houston, you got the New York, you got the Atlanta. Atlanta's producing people like once every 3, 4, or 5 months. Like once a season, they got somebody you're like,
because the support is out there. You know what I mean? The community
the at the top, strong. And it trickles down to the bottom, right?
Yeah.
Like you hear things like Young Thug paid Lil Baby to stop trapping so that he can start rapping and keep rapping and go to the studio and make some money that won't get you, you know, that won't endanger your livelihood. So you can do things. So like, I don't feel like we have that support at the top that trickles down. And what happens with that, if you have these avenues and like you have these opportunities, because people from the top support the people at the bottom and their come up. So you hope it pays forward so that now Lil Baby, he's starting to label, right? And now he's getting people from the bottom, he's bringing them to the top. And what it just does, it just promotes your whole culture, promotes your whole environment, like promotes your community so that it can strive, because there's no reason to try to again compete with everybody from your city.
There is none. Especially if you're not popping either. Like, how you gonna not work with nobody and nobody even really working with you yet? You know what I mean? Like,
you just dropped a few songs.
Like you just dropped like 2-3 songs on SoundCloud. Everybody fucking with you. Like, damn, I ain't fucking with nobody now. You know what I mean? Like
the feature price went up to a couple figures.
Like what? Right.
Cool.
Like it's just weird out here. It's definitely weird. Like it's cutthroat. But that's what I try to do. Like I definitely try to strive and like, you know, any song that I drop, I'm gonna hit up like a photographer or a local artist. You know what I mean? Like I said, like James, shout out James Audio. He be mixing all my songs. You know what I mean? Nick Millie Shoots, be shooting all my stuff. I'm working with J Life for some, you know, talks, doing videos and stuff, and it's just bringing everybody together. Like
continuing,
because it's like if we don't start doing that, then nobody's gonna start it, and everybody's just gonna keep doing the same shit. You know what I mean? Even you know what I mean? You stepped up and you're like, I'm gonna just bring all these artists on here and we're gonna talk about shit, and it's low-key, like I said earlier, it's like you're being the catalyst, and you're bringing artists together that otherwise wouldn't even be on the same platform. You know what I mean? So big ups to you too. Like, it's mad respect. You know what I mean? Shout out. But like I said, it's a slow start, but people are slowly waking up over here, and like, you know, hopefully sooner than later, because we all trying to make it a little bit. So
yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, so shout out to you again. Continue to collaborate, to continue to reach out to people, continue to show love to people you may not know, you know. Like, don't be afraid to just pull up on somebody random or their page, their music video, their YouTube video, whatever, and just be like, yo, this was dope. Because you never know whose day it might make. You never know what collaboration could spawn after that. You never know if they could check your page and maybe hit you with a follow and who they're connected to, and so on and so forth. Like, this is the days of networking we live in. And this is the type of important stuff that needs to happen in order for the community to get uplifted. I feel that 100%. So yeah, I just want to say thanks for coming on again, talking to us, doing this little interview. Tell the people how to support you.
Right on. So you can find me on Instagram at Shogun V _. I'm on all streaming platforms, Shogun V, Twitter, all that shit's the same. I'm working on an EP right now, Apocalypse EP. I have a few people on there guesting on that. It's pretty much it though. Shout out Neek Millie. Shout out all the local artists. I could go on and on, but you know, shout out my boy Nico. Shout out all my friends. You know, everybody that's been supporting me since day one. Shout out you. Feel me? Shout out. We out here. But yeah, Shogun V on all streaming platforms. Slap me one time. I'll probably be your new favorite friendly neighborhood rapper. You just feel me? I got some slabs. New favorite. Local rapper.
Your friendly neighborhood rapper. I like that.
Out here.
Yeah. I just want to thank everybody who listened to this episode on all the audio platforms. If you can't see us, if you enjoyed the episode, go ahead and rate us highly, leave a like, subscribe, follow, whatever the platform allows you to do. And go collaborate with somebody. Yep. Go listen to Shogun V. Go make some dope content. Go love yourself.
Go get lit. We out here.
Do whatever you need to do to live, you know, and to fulfill your vision personally and individually. But don't shit on anybody else's vision, more important.
Yeah, don't do that. You a scumbag if you do that, bro.
And that's facts. All right. Peace and love.